welcome to CabCo Collective, your source for entertainment, information, and community.
And today we are lucky enough to be joined by Barbi Jones from the Cabarrus Chamber of Commerce. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, ladies, for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah, well, we want to start with a little bit of how you got to work for the Chamber here and what you guys do.
Sure. So I moved to Cabarrus County about 26 years ago. I was a stay-at-home mom, have 2 little boys at the time, and I did a lot of volunteer work. And just, when you're new to a community, you want to find out a lot about it. So I got very engaged with Junior Charity League, wonderful organization that provides new school clothes for kids in need. And so I went to work as their part-time executive director and did that for a few years. When my children were old enough to be in elementary school, I went full-time with Habitat for Humanity in Cabarrus County. Loved that. It was great. And then worked for Alan Craven and Company Realtors. Got my real estate license, wanted to learn more about that. And what Alan taught me was a tremendous amount about a family-owned business, how to run a small business, the financial sides of it, which was very beneficial. But my heart was always in nonprofits, and so I had a great opportunity to work for United Way. And so I was here as a Cabarrus director for a couple of years, worked with all of our Cabarrus County amazing nonprofits, had the opportunity to go to Charlotte to work with the regional organization as their chief marketing officer, and I did that. But then when this opening came up with the chamber, I had a couple of my friends mention it to me, and was very, very lucky to get it because it combines everything that I love. It's community, it's business, it's helping in ways to just lift all boats. And so it was a blessing. It's been almost 8 years ago, and I have a phenomenal team. But what the Chamber does, our mission is to convene, connect, and champion businesses of all sizes in Cabarrus County. And we do that through a number of ways. We do a lot of networking events because we know that if you have a relationship with someone and you need later on, say, I've met you and you have a tire business. Well, then I have a flat tire and my wife needs a new set of tires. I'm going to know who to call. And I'm going to work more with people I know. And the same thing as we start looking at, we work very hard on workforce development. And so we convene a lot of the stakeholders in the community around that. What can we work on that will benefit all businesses, not just chamber members, but what's going to help with workforce in our community? So we do a lot of that. We do a lot of advocacy work along with the same thing. We were proponents of Medicaid expansion. We were one of the first chambers in the state to support that. We've done a lot with infrastructure investment around the expansion of I-85 and now the other projects in the county. So what we do is working with our government and our businesses, figure out what are the businesses' needs, and we work together tangentially with that.
You all do a lot.
We're busy.
That's a lot of collaboration between businesses, local level, a bigger level. So how do businesses kind of join the chamber? What does it look like for a business being a part of the chamber?
Sure. So yes, we actively recruit businesses of all sizes, and we have membership starting at $370 for a very small business. That's for the year. And we go all the way up to, we have larger businesses that make larger investments with us. A lot of the larger businesses recognize the work that we're able to do for our entire community around workforce, around school with education, all of those things. And so they are very generous to invest with us so that we can spend more time with our smaller businesses, making those connections for them.
Awesome. Now so when they work with like the schools and things like that, what kind of programs are set up for those businesses to kind of pour into the schools and then those graduates to be able to come into the workforce here locally?
Sure. So talent pipeline development is huge. The U.S. Census Bureau tells us that 72% of people will live and work within 25 miles of where they were raised.
I like hearing that. I have 5 kids. So don't leave.
I always say moms want their kids home, and I'm the same way. But it is interesting if you look and you start talking to people, where are you from? Many of them are from here and they've stayed here. And so we want to make sure that our students are prepared for careers. And we say that we want kids to, the Monday after graduation, to either enroll, enlist, or engage. So enroll, are they set up to finish post-secondary, go into post-secondary work, credentialing, apprenticeships? Are they going to enlist in one of our great armed services and either learn a skill there or do a career service? Or are they going to engage? Are they ready to go to work? Do they have a job? Do they have the credentials that they need for that job? So we do a lot of work with Cabarrus County schools, Kannapolis City schools through CTE, and make sure that those jobs match, or those skills match the jobs that are currently available.
Career technical education.
Yes, right. Thank you. So that's really important that we do that. We introduced a program that the county was very generous in funding called Edge Factor. We have just started that this year with Cabarrus County and Kannapolis City schools. Currently it's available, I think, for middle schools and high schools. And what it is a digital learning tool for career development. So a student can get on and explore. Has over 420 careers, has 3,200 videos.
Wow.
And so it's career exploration through video and through storytelling. And so it's a good way to figure out what you're interested in and what you're not interested in.
That was almost more important.
I do believe that.
Yeah.
I do believe
But
that.
they can get exposed to so many things that they don't even know is an
Right.
option.
And the neat thing is it shows tours of plants, because one of the things, we have incredible opportunities in Cabarrus County with advanced manufacturing, but many of the folks whose families have worked in mills in the past, that's what they envision, and it's nothing like that.
We got Corning,
Yes.
we got Ketchy, we got so many great
Yes,
manufacturing
Lilly will be
jobs.
opening
Lilly,
next year.
yep.
So, I mean, there's just so many opportunities for great jobs in manufacturing, but we've got to make sure families understand this isn't what it used to be.
Mhm.
It's cleaner, it's nicer, it's safer, and it pays really well. So those are the kind of things that we do with our schools to hopefully have our students prepared. There is a business side of Edge Factor that we're doing a soft launch. We're waiting for some upgrades to the platform to make it easier for businesses. But when they're done, and it's supposed to be before the end of the year, any business in Cabarrus County can get on it. They can call us at the chamber, and we can get their page started, and it would have their information, all the careers available. Because, say, going back to a tire business, that was what my family's business was, so I relate to that. Yes, we do tire repair and sales, but we also have accounting, we have HR, so there's so many different careers available within a company. That company on their Edge Factor page can list all of that. It can talk about how what they're looking for long term, how to connect with them. So we're hoping that to get more robust in 24. But yes, we think it's a great tool, and both school systems are very engaged with it now.
That's awesome, the different approaches, because as Cabarrus continues to is one of the fastest growing counties in North Carolina, and no sign of slowing down.
No.
And so you're trying to meet the immediate need as well as what's to come. So you're balancing those two.
And that's what's really important. We workforce. We just did 100 visits with 100 of our members, just randomly, and that we chose them, and they all told us, I would say probably 90% workforce. This is the number one issue, is quantity, quality, and so how do we make sure that we are investing in our schools to make sure that they have kids, or once they graduate, that are good workers. And then what do folks, older workers that maybe are in jobs that they don't love, how do they get back through RCCC? How do they learn a skill that can take as little as 6 weeks?
Because I think middle-aged people are like, I think I'm going to change it up.
It's never too late.
Or the kids are out of the house, and they're like, all right, now I can actually focus on myself and pick out something that I want to do. So that's...
My mom just started a new career after we all left, and she's in her 60s,
That's
so
awesome.
she loves it.
Well, and we're all living longer. We have, unfortunately, not a lot of folks can afford to retire at 65. One of the nice things about many of our businesses are they have very robust insurance plans, and so if you're an older adult, it's a great opportunity to continue working, have your insurance, and also be able to add to your income through that.
With that, workforce, that kind of leads into, how do you manage with the variety of businesses, large and small? How do you balance those with the needs and the mission of the chamber?
Sure.
Because I could see that they could have very different needs.
They do. We are a member-led organization, first and foremost, and so we are constantly getting feedback from our members. What do you need? A lot of the times it's a different value proposition depending on the size. If you're a small business, you need those connections. You need to figure out who you can work with in the community and be able to make those relationships. Larger businesses are more concerned about more of the advocacy work we're doing. And so we just try to, all of our decisions are member-led. We have a 24-person board that makes our decisions. And we just, they drive our mission and our vision and then our strategic plan, and we work from that.
And I can say firsthand, their advocacy work is top notch. It's not, hey, we're going to send an email. It is constant engagement with the government officials.
Blowing up Kevin's phone.
Yes, and in the best way possible.
Thank you.
Where it's not too much, but just enough to stay on our radar constantly.
Don't forget, we're here.
Exactly.
Well, and that, advocacy is a big part of what we do with local, state, and federal. And we're very lucky in Cabarrus County to have great local, and then our state delegations phenomenal, and federal.
It's hard to do having a small business and trying to advocate for yourself. Your
Yes,
voice isn't as big.
right.
So with the chamber, all those voices come
Yes.
together. You can have more power to get things done. You can be a little louder and be like, "This is what we need." So.
And that's what we do. And the nice thing is our advocacy committee meetings are open to any of our members. And so we do have a good mix of small businesses, some nonprofit, larger businesses. And right now we're working on our legislative agenda for the short session in 2024, and what needs to be done. We still continue to see health insurance being a huge issue, particularly for small businesses.
Yeah.
I just met with our insurance guy today. It's about 40%.
No.
So I'm working. I'm like, but we have a really good plan, and like we pay 100% of our employees health
Sure.
insurance.
Oh,
So I'm
that's
like,
incredible.
I'm like, all right, but we need to like figure out what to do. But yes, health insurance is a huge
Health
huge
insurance,
thing.
workforce continues to be childcare. Childcare is such a huge issue in Cabarrus. It's not Cabarrus County. It's statewide. It's nationwide. But we've been big proponents for seeing changes or asking for changes in childcare regulations, and funding, and looking at some kind of out of the box solutions that have worked in other states.
That's awesome.
So we'll continue to work on that.
That's cool. How what was I gonna hang on, I have a list. What was I gonna ask? I don't even know where I was.
Well, with those changes, and then, it's very interesting too. How do you, with the changing population, how do you make sure the chamber itself stays relative and engaged, and that make sure that they are an important asset to the businesses?
Yeah, I think that it is interesting. We are not your father's chamber,
Yeah.
I would say.
I would agree.
We work with chambers all across the state. And actually, I work with the U.S. Chamber Foundation, so working with chambers all across the country. And so we don't tend to do, we do still do networking. It's a very important part, but we're not just party planners.
Yeah.
And I think that is, now we throw a heck of a good party, I
That
will
is
say.
true. If you've never been to a chamber event, you need to go.
We do throw a good party, but there's a lot of serious business also that goes on. Our advocacy and workforce development committees do really tough work, and like I said, it is a representative of all of our members. And so we just want to make sure that we continue to stay relevant based on their needs. And so, there used to be chambers that would do directories and different things that we're constantly charging members. We're not going to do that. I mean, we're going to try to keep our dues as low as possible, keep our events at a reasonable amount. We're able to do that because of really generous sponsors that help us do that.
So what is with all those businesses, what is an example of like one of your most successful partnerships or project that has kind of led to a huge positive impact here?
So I would definitely say Medicaid expansion. I know there are a lot of folks that don't agree with it, but in Cabarrus County alone, there are about 6,000 folks that were not covered by Medicaid and could not afford an Obamacare plan.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if you have a healthy workforce, they're going to show up on time, they're going to be able to work longer. It's just better for everyone. Plus, it's the right thing to do. You want people to have the preventative services that they need.
Keeps healthcare costs low for
It
all
does.
of us.
It's an investment, and it's something that we saw. We have small businesses that don't even carry insurance on them. I mean, they can't afford it because it's so expensive. With Medicaid expansion, they'll be able to. And so we just think it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing for business. It's the right thing for workforce.
Yeah.
So that was our most recent
That's awesome.
thing.
So what are you most proud of with the Cabarrus Chamber?
I'm really proud of my team.
Yeah.
I will say that. I have a very small team. It is myself and Allison Palladino and Jess Buchanan. So there are just three of us. And
We're really busy.
well,
Yes.
we are, but who isn't, right?
Yeah.
Who isn't busy? And so, but they're very dedicated. They love our members. They love our mission. And so I'm really proud of the work that they do every single day. I'm proud of our board of directors. They work very hard on our strategic plan and vision and give great feedback. And then our ambassadors that are our volunteer members that show up and help us, because we were only 3. So we had Brew and Q the other night for 300 people.
That was amazing. That was fun.
Glad you
that is
enjoyed
one
it.
of my favorite things to go to. We went last year and I was like, I'm going again this year. That's a great event.
Thank you, and it's just fun. It's a great time. It's beer barbecue networking.
Well, and there were a lot of businesses this year that weren't there last year.
Yes.
So the fact that you all are growing and more businesses are getting involved and they're able to get to see other small businesses and that networking to be able to build and grow, I think it was wonderful.
Thank you. But that's probably, I just am really proud of the work that we're able to do, and that it is, because it is member-led, it is representative of all. We've increased our diversity quite a bit over the last couple of years. I'm really proud of that too. So that we want, ideally, any organization in Cabarrus County should look like its community. And so we really want to make sure that we do as well.
That's awesome.
So how does a business, if they are thinking about joining the chamber, do they just reach out to you?
Absolutely.
Or like, what are the steps to become a chamber member?
So it's real easy. You can go to our website, which is cabarrus.biz, and Allison Palladino handles our member engagement. But you can apply online. I always recommend people talk to Allison or myself, because we want to make sure that you get a plan or a membership that fits for what your needs are. A lot of times folks will come in as really small businesses and think they need to invest high, and they don't. They can get great benefits from that basic level.
That's awesome. Which we can post like the website.
Sure, that'd be great.
And follow them on social media as
Yes.
well. It's Cabarrus Chamber.
Cabarrus Chamber,
on Facebook and Instagram,
Right.
and I think Twitter as well.
I don't know about
X.
Twitter.
Okay.
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn. There we go.
Yeah, that's the business.
Yeah.
The business.
And yes, and we'll link all that below. You don't need to be a member either to attend the events. You'll just pay a different cost.
Some events.
For
Some
some
events are
events,
open to
yeah.
the public and others aren't.
Right. So if you just want to go try it out,
Sure.
somebody can go
Talk
for
to
a
Allison.
event.
Yeah.
So, well, Barbie, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Anything as we close this out?
Just want to thank you, ladies, for doing this,
Yes.
for calling attention to all the great things in Cabarrus County. And I know that's a lot of hard work. You both have busy lives, so thank you for doing that.
Well, thank you for what you do for our
Yes.
community.
It's easy.
Again, as always, you can reach us at CabCoPod@gmail.com. Wow, CabCoPod@gmail.com. And follow us on all social media at the CabCo Collective. And see you next Tuesday.